Hi there, it's Damien from Anton. I'm going to talk you through another interesting aspect of our free Sprint Mobile app that you might want to use, which is the accounting section. When I say accounting, I mean quotations and invoicing and payments and that sort of thing. Again, you don't need one of our analyzers to use this functionality. It's free to use. In fact, we've got lots of people that use it that have nothing to do with the heating world. Car cleaners and builders and all sorts of different people use this because it's so good and it's free to use. But obviously, being a heating engineer, you can use this and other functions within the app, hopefully. Okay, first thing you might want to do is go into settings and set up your account settings. Now, the first thing to notice is there's VAT rate in there, that sort of thing. Now, the top of the list, though, you can say, are you VAT registered? So if you're not, you swipe that across and all the VAT related stuff will disappear, and obviously all the quotes you create will be according to the fact that you're not VAT registered. If you are, obviously you can then put in the current rate of VAT and whatever else you want to do. You can also, if you don't like the idea of doing quotations, you prefer the word estimates, you can basically tailor it so that any estimates that you create rather than quotes, because they may not be fixed and firm. When you get on the job, you might find other costs. A lot of people prefer to use the word estimates, so you can tailor it there. If I go back into the account, so that icon somewhere in the middle there, if I click on that, what you get is this screen first of all. So if you want to create a new quote or estimate for a customer, what you do is you click the red cross at the bottom, and then you go in and select your customer from your list. Now you can use the search function to find your customer. I'm going to find this guy John Landlord. There he is. He's a landlord, so he's got various sites. So again, I can search, but there's only 4 here, so I'll choose one of his sites here to go and do a quote for. Next line down, you can do add an item. So what I can do is I can type it in there and add whatever it is I want to quote. Washer, for example. One washer unit cost. Just fill this in as you would. 25p. And then I'm going to, at the bottom there it says save this item for future use and lookup. If I swipe that, it will then appear in a list that I'll show you in a second. So I hit save, and there you are, there's my washer on the quote. Now, that list I'm talking about, if you hit the magnifying glass, you come up with a list of things that you've already saved. And you can add to this however you choose. So I might want to add to this quote some labour. Now labour, you can see the descriptive line is swiped across. There's no associated cost. This is literally just a title to it. So I want to save that, and then I want to go in and add my time as the heating engineer. So again, I've put it in there. This is 1 hour, but you can go in and change. So this job is let's do a boiler fit. So I don't know, it's an 8-hour job. It's probably a bit more than that, isn't it, in terms of labour? So let's say 12 hours. Done. There might be a friend and family, so you might want to change the price, £55.50 an hour, random, but there you go. And you can actually, if you choose to, I think there's an option to put discounts in this or not. Anyway, you can, however you choose to do it. Okay, let's save that. So now let's do the parts. So if I go to my list again, parts is there. Save that, and now I've got a line that's related to parts. And then what I'm going to do, this washer obviously shouldn't be at the top of the quote now, it's a part. So if I just drag it. So if I hold the bar at the side and drag it down, there it goes under my parts list. Add another item. Let's go and find, there's Avail and Ecotech that we regularly quote. So you click on that. Again, if you want to change the price for the customer, you can. There you go, and I'll add that to the list. Let's put that above the washer. Oops. Just by dragging it and holding it like that. So there's going to be other parts, obviously, copper tube, whatever. Let's quickly add that in. Whatever else it is you're going to be doing. 22mm. And again, let's put it in and save it. Quantity 1 for now. I'm honestly not sure what the current cost of copper is per metre, but I don't know, let's say £6. Probably miles out, but I'm not actually a heating engineer, as you can probably tell. Okay, so you can go in and edit that. So if I click on it again, I can say, right, that we actually used 8 meters of pipe on this job. Done. Save. There you are. Very quickly, I've now created a quotation. So if I hit save, I can then show you that. So 3 little dots is options. Click on that list, and you've got all these different things you can do with this quote now. So I can email it to the customer, I can do all sorts, but I'm going to just view the PDF and show you what it looks like. So because I've filled this in already with my own company details, and so on and so forth, all of the customer details, the site details, and then the labour element, it's all there, it's all listed, and all the VAT is also added to the quote because on these circumstances I'm VAT registered. There's text fields you can have. So down here, estimate valid for 30 days. You can put your terms and conditions in there. That's all tailorable to your own requirements. So here now I've got a list of pending jobs. These are quotes or estimates at the moment, outstanding. You can see if they're green, they've been invoiced and done, or that tells you a little bit about them. But here I've got at the bottom a total pending. So it gives you an idea of what your outstanding quotes are, which is obviously a useful thing to know what you've got in the pipeline. If I said take this John Landlord quote and he says, yeah, I want to go ahead with that, I can then approve it. Yes, so now that's approved. So now I know that's work I've got to do. Once it's done, again, you might, sorry, I didn't show you this, but you can email this. So, email. So you just click on email and you can then email the quote to your customer very easily. Or you might just show them on the screen and you might approve it that way. Most people want a copy of it though, so you can do that. Now this has been approved, now I've got to do the work. Once I've done the work, I want to copy that to invoice. I want to create an invoice for this job. And the next line over here is all the invoices I've got and done. So again, a bit like before, red means it's unpaid or part paid, and then green means it's a paid job. But at the bottom, I've got a total outstanding of everything that's owed to me. So maybe, I don't know, once every day or two, you go on here and you can see, right, who owes me money. It's a great way of just referring back and see what's been paid and what hasn't. And you can then go in and chase it up. Again, you can email the invoice, or you can print it if you've got a printer from your device and that sort of thing. So, it's very flexible what you can do with it. What I'm going to say is, let's say on the job, take payment. So he gave me £200 in cash because that's what he happened to have on him on the day. So you can fill in the number. It's a cash payment. If I tick the box for create a receipt, it will create a receipt for that £200, which I'll show you now. So click OK. And now that's showing where it was unpaid. It's now saying part paid. And over here in receipts, I've now got a copy of again, I can email or print this, but I'll show you it on the screen. A copy of an invoice, part paid, and it shows the total outstanding value. So it shows how much has been paid and how much the whole job is worth and how much is outstanding. So again, you can email that. It shows them that they've now got a receipt for any part payments you get. If I go back to invoices, say you chase this up and 2 weeks later or a week later or whatever, you get a check in the post or he pays by credit card or whatever it is he does. So you can go in and again click the appropriate payment. I'm going to create a receipt again. And there, now that's paid in full. And over here, I've got a receipt for that, which I'll show you again, paid in full now. So the other one, the part payment one, is still there. You see just below it, but there you've got now a receipt for the full payment as well. Line items is the sort of those things I said earlier. So you don't have to do it from a quote. You can create new lines that then save in this list to make your any future quotes even quicker still. Sorry, go back into accounts. If you ever do any credit notes, which obviously you prefer not to, but if you have to, you can create those as well. And the last thing I'm going to show you on accounting is you can actually export all the data. So if I say, right, you can choose the time and date, say you want to do the last month or the last 6 months or however your accountant wants the information, or whoever does your accounts. I'm going to do the last 2 years, export and share. It will take a second or two just to create this because it's probably quite a big file, quite a lot of information here. But what it's going to do now is, okay, right, I'm going to copy to numbers because this is an iPhone I'm working on at the moment, so they don't have Excel as such on it. It's numbers, which is the equivalent of. And then what it's going to do is create me a spreadsheet of all my quotes, all my invoices and all my receipts. And any credit notes and what have you, which is a really easy way of then, okay, it doesn't like the font, but that's fine, that's standard in iOS, I'm told. It still creates the report. So here, now I've got all the quotation references, the businesses, the customers. Obviously this is all fictitious, but you get the idea. That's all my quotes. So I've got another column here with all my invoices and credit notes. And then finally, I've got a list of all the payments I've received in that period that I selected. So you might do it month at a time, week at a time, or even a year at a time, depending on what your accountant wants. And then again, you can then, you can then, I think, email that. Oh yeah, there you go. There's various ways you can do with that. You can send it on to your, email it to whoever you need to email it to. There you go. Hope that's useful. If you've got any questions, get in touch with us, and thank you for your help. Bye bye.